Chiefs. With kickoff straight ahead, let's check in with the two men who will be calling tonight's game. As we say hello to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Tonight, we wrap up Week 3 with a good Monday nighter here between the San Diego Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now they'll run it on the toss. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Time quickly to look at the Chargers defense.
Ryan Kerrigan is an example of bringing the best of you from college to the NFL and remaking your game. Terrific guy causing fumbles at Purdue, has done the exact same thing in the NFL, then lost weight and became an absolute terror rushing the passer.
6 yards to go here on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now they'll throw with Carr. And that's incomplete. Tajay Sharp, the intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
I see an extra DB on the field now for San Diego.
Yeah, indeed. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you got the early lead.
They slot Gronkowski out right. They go play action here on first down. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? What a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. They're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on third down. Third and 2, now Griffin. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And they thought they could exploit this defense with some really quick hitters, quick action. They worked on that in practice. We just saw it there.
And we saw them break it down to the fundamentals as well. Each position group had their own little work on it. You know, they worked on a drill here with the receivers, a drill there with the quarterbacks. Then they brought it all together, and now it's paying off in the game.
The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. On second down, Griffin. Pass incomplete. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there. And it's third down. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
Eric Armstead was a big-time high school basketball player turned into college football All-American. Now they're counting on him in the NFL to fulfill his promise.
Drops it underneath for Rawls. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
First down, this is Rawls. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, the person carrying the ball is always the easy target when things aren't going so well. But I think it's a combination with the Chargers. They've got to get the offensive line going in order to improve those numbers from last year. They weren't very good running it, partner.
No, they were bottom of the AFC, second to last in the entire NFL. Now Griffin on second down. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They do, however, have a tough third and long coming up. Third and long. It's Griffin. He sets to fire deep. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure.
And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On second down, here's Griffin. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Griffin. And Gronkowski's got it. Complete over the middle. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
To throw is RG3. Jackson's got it over the middle. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. And the D looking like they may blitz. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They run with a power back. Rawls. And it produces a new set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window, and they've got to go.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. There he goes left side. And out come the Chiefs now. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
There are so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
To throw his car. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. On second down, here's Carr. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
Let's go. We ready? Red 18. Switch. Zebra. Hey, we're ready.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this.
Cut in left. Four down. We ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So 2nd and 10 here.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. Alert. We ready? Wide and eight. Set. Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54.
Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now.
We got 3 down. All right, here we go.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on off.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cody Ely in there to get him for a loss of 5. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On second down, here's Griffin. Right side caught by Jackson. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. Now Griffin. And that is incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. And 4th down coming up. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. They'll stop.
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we got to throw in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
Second down following the run. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. Uses the stiff arm. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An extra DB here for the Chiefs on third down.
Pass situation.
Now Griffin. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on fourth down. Here we go on fourth down with Griffin. And able to find Garcon. Give him 9 on the play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Here's Rawls. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive. No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play. Only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
They'll hand to Rawls. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, second down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. To throw is RG3. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On second down, here's Carr. And he almost had it defensively. could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Shotgun now for Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Throwing now, Griffin on first down. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd down now after the pass completion. On 2nd down, here's Griffin. It's caught by Garcon. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Looking for Gronkowski, and he's got him complete. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. And they're going to speed things up here.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. To throw again is Griffin. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 7, and it gives him a new set of downs. And quickly, they get to the line. On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. Over the middle to Garcon. A gain of 6 there on 1st. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Once again, Griffin. This is caught. Gronkowski. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And that one falls incomplete, breaking his string of 7 straight passes completed. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. So they're on the 5-yard line here, 2nd down and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So backed up to the 6 now, 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, here's Griffin. And this is going to be incomplete. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Aguayo's kick is good. And the lead is down to 10 now at 16-6. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, you know, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. So it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So 3rd down, just 1 yard to go. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run again with Blunt. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
So it'll be 1st down here after the run. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now a carry for Blunt. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Gronkowski, slot left. They'll throw on 1st down with Griffith. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. They give him 15 more, and it's another 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Bringing it in, Jackson left side. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now Griffin on first down. And his throw here is incomplete. Gronkowski the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Second and 10. Once again, Griffin. Jackson's got it over the middle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
To throw again is Griffin. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And now it's second down. Second down following the incompletion. The 10th carry for Thomas Rawls. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
So time here for the onside kick and then the 2-minute warning. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Fresh set of downs here.
We got three. We ready?
Here's Blunt. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's second and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down. Have to stop it.
And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. First down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They come up in an offset eye. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Kansas City, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.